I think some fellas here discovered they have dry vaginas too.
You guys remember MASH, the show MASH, some of you? He's like the radar of our government. He gives off
exactly
radar.
What
No
he
one
is.
wanted to fuck radar.
No.
Anybody trying to fuck
I'm gonna
radar?
land a funny. I'm gonna land a funny. I used humor.
Please welcome to the stage SNL legend, star of stage and screen, and one of the best alphabets to ever leave green grease paint all over Broadway. It's the wickedly talented Ana Gasteyer. Hi. Thank you for being here. Come on. Hi, Ana.
Hi. I put my diaphragm back.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you. And also with you.
I think
No?
you're the first alphabet I've ever met.
You've never been to Mass, evidently.
No, I've been to a confirmation.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I've been in a lot of European cathedrals.
Yes. That counts. That counts. It's all good. We're moving on. It was just a. Thank you. Go back to your compliment, please. Your transitional compliment.
You were alphabet.
I was. I'm not sure that was a compliment, but
You know,
it was a statement.
you know that everyone says people say that comedians want to be rock stars and rock stars want to be comedians.
Yes.
I think because you are known for being so funny, I don't think you get enough credit for being an amazing singer. And when I tell people, you know that Ana Gasteyer was an amazing alphabet, people are like, she was? I'm like, get your heads out of your goddamn asses.
I'm impressed that you know. It was pre-bootleg because it was so long ago now, which is shocking, because I was like the third, or I don't know, fourth alphabet or something real early. It was before the producers knew that it was helpful for people to bootleg their performances for ticket sales. So like the second that someone would bootleg something, and you would see like maybe the picture of like a bottom of a duffel bag and like a little bit of your face and go up and down, they would pull it off the internet. So just like in the last, because of the movie, more old alphabet tape has resurfaced. And so I feel like people are just kind of maybe figuring it out. It's just weird because it's it's understandably confusing, is what I'm trying to say. Because if you're known from television and then you're accidentally a really good singer, it's upsetting to people.
Yeah.
You know?
So God doesn't give with both hands, they say.
I mean, I was going to be a vocalist. I was a voice major. That's how I started my life. Like that was the first thing that I did well. My parents wanted me to be an opera singer, which was a bad fit. But you know, so I went to Northwestern to be a voice major, and then go Cats, and then thank you, Rao, and then. But then, you know, Chicago's the birthplace of improv comedy, and I met the funny people, and some, you know, things happened that I started inappropriately laughing in a couple of lectures, ethnomusicology lecture, and I was asked to leave, and so I called my parents, and I transferred to the School of Theater, and then I kind of never looked back, but because in comedy, you use your toolkit, like whatever's available, you're going to use it. In sketches or whatever, so I always kind of sang, and so I came to it in a really backwards way. So by the time I was in New York, and I was doing SNL, and I was kind of singing in character, you know, casting people would call me in, and then when I left SNL, I was like, okay, in earnest, I'm gonna start studying again, and because, as I'm sure you know, the human voice doesn't really mature until your 30s.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of those weird... it's like marathoning. Like you don't really get good at marathoning till you're a little bit older if you're a guy. Like after 25. Same thing with the human voice. So I knew I was like young enough to go back and study. And then those shows that I did, you know, Elphaba and Three Penny Opera and Sondheim's Passion. Like I did all these shows that it's a very Olympic experience 8 times a week. Your voice just gets better.
What is that like?
You can wake up now.
They're
a gentle slumber came across the audience.
See, that's the comedian in you. You want them to be laughing,
No,
but
no,
you're
no,
saying
I
something
actually,
so interesting.
they were so gentle. It was a gentle feeling.
They're a sweet and gentle
group. It was a late
group.
night last night.
They're very supportive.
It's Brooklyn. They had a big fun night, so
because
they're tired.
People cheered themselves up at the Cuomo HQ. You said.
Yeah.
It was like sort of gallows humor.
Gallows humor.
Oh, I have so much I want to talk to you about.
Go.
So you brought up
Do it fast.
You brought up your childhood. You were friends with Amy Carter.
I was
and
friends
you
with
used
Amy
to go to
Carter.
the White House.
I did used
Did you
to go to
the
the White
parts
House.
that were torn down?
They're gone. I was in the movie theater, the beloved movie theater that they were just talking about.
It's a historic place.
I know, because the first time I ever went to the White House was to see Pete's Dragon, starring Helen Reddy. Yeah, you probably read this, and it is weird to talk about, but it is now that I used to not talk about it at all because it felt gross and braggy. I don't know why, but anyway, so because I was at the Camp David Accords, and as you can tell, as I literally was, and that obviously it worked. Middle East peace has been accomplished. I went to the Camp David Accords.
I like to say Jimmy Carter loosened it for Trump.
I went to the Camp David Accords. I was there. If you look it up in the paper, it's insane. It's like Zelig, where they're like, the first day they couldn't report on anything. They were like, Menachem Begin and Anwar Sadat and the president watched Amy and friend Ana Gasteyer play Lightly Row on the violin. Like, we both played some, like, Suzuki. That was because it wouldn't report on anything. And then that night, Mrs. Carter came in and said, girls, brush your hair. The Sadats are coming over to watch Star Wars. And that is a true story. And what's really sad is that it didn't really spark a lifelong interest in the Middle East. I was just fascinated that you could see Star Wars in your house. It was so mind-bending in 1977 to have a movie in your house. It was insane. Anyway, as you can see, I left Washington.
Okay, now back to Broadway.
Sure.
How is it singing? So I've seen Wicked. I saw Wicked at the Kennedy Center.
I'm so excited that you're into this. I would not
Really?
have ever guessed this about you.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, are you from Washington?
Trying to think of why not. What?
Are you from Washington?
I worked in D.C.
Right, of course.
But I'm not from there. I'm from New York.
Right,
But I
sure.
saw Wicked for the first time with my mother because the president has a box at the Kennedy Center, and if the president is going to use the tickets, you can get into like kind of like a
Right.
lottery or to get the tickets. And I
Right.
got them. I took my mother to see Wicked, and sitting to my right was the late Senator Harry Reid, who
Oh my
did
God.
fall asleep.
Sure. I have a good story after this.
And I stood up applauding at Defying Gravity, and then I looked over and Harry Reid out cold. I was like crying and applauding. But
I was going to say, it's very, very hard to fall asleep during Defying Gravity. It's very loud.
But Harry Reid was very good at it.
Yeah.
And but I've seen it a couple times, and it is I can't imagine the stress of having to try to hit the battle cry night after night.
Yes. I mean, it's insanely Olympian and exhausting, and that's all you do is worry about that and worry about your voice, and you're just an annoying person who worries about it. It's like being an athlete. You just, sleep and water and all the things, and you're very mean to people with children who might have colds, that kind of thing. But more than that, it's very physically challenging. I mean, above and beyond the actual vocal pyrotechnics, it's really in Defying Gravity. What's so hard is like that you've got the broom, and you're flying, and you're supposed to look like you're flying, and the green, and all of the costumes. I guess Idina Menzel must be like a very method actress because everything is very real in the show. And once it's set on Broadway, it's set. So like the second act costume is 40 pounds. It's so heavy. I was so skinny when I was doing the show. It was so Herculean. Like all of the bucket's really heavy. The stupid spell book. Like if it were, it's like a phone book. Like I'm serious. My like fifth or sixth performance in Chicago, my fascia blew up, and I had sort of like a triangle of bloat between my ear and my shoulder, and they ran me to the ER and everything. And it turns out it was just from the weight of the phone book, spell book in the backpack, in the book bag, like pushing against my neck.
For 8 shows a week.
I came back and I was like, can we just do balsa wood? That's what we did in our town in high school. But anyway, they just replaced it. It was very, very heavy. That's what's hard. That's actually what's hard.
Was there ever, so there are rarely shows, but it happens, where the lift doesn't work and you have to
The best. It's this is my favorite thing in the world. I don't know is this entirely audio?
There's video.
Is there video? Okay.
Yeah.
Because, it's Broadway, so they're pros. And it's great. So since you seem to be interested in Wicked, I'll tell you about it. So the way that it works, you know, most people think, oh, is it like a harness or whatever, or, you know, all the flying techniques. It's a cherry picker. So it comes out from the back wall. It's hidden by curtains and so forth. And it's a long arm that comes in a little it clasps around you. I don't know what to call that, a clasp. What? A claw, yes. Like a claw sort of goes around your waist with a faux skirt. So your own skirt.
I was telling them, never ever do that again.
Okay.
You never correct Ana Gasteyer in my presence again.
He'll help me. So it comes together like this, and actually I thought it was just you throwing your voice. And and you're kind of running forward, and then the idea is like in The Wizard of Oz, those big scary guards come up and they hold their spears up at you and they go, "Seize her!" and whatever, they run up. And just at that moment, you fly up in the air. The whole thing elevates, right? So it's Broadway. It's the big leagues. They've got a B plan, obviously. They're not gonna fuck around with this, right? So it happened once in the Chicago production I did, and it happened once on Broadway. You're coming out, you're running away. It's me. And you're not moving. You can feel that it's starting to come up. So what these guys do, it's theater. They're tall, they got big hats, they got spears, they go, and they lay on the floor. And they go, "Seize her!" So then you stand. You stand like this and you fly over. And the whole time, so if you can't find me, and you're just doing and you're sitting there thinking, these people spend so much money. And they are now seeing what basically amounts to the same kind of show your family would force you to watch in the basement on Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? When kids are like, "Come see our Wicked," you know? One of them, it's so hilarious.
Well, for the true freaks, their dream is to be there on a night.
A no-fly night.
A no-fly night.
A no-fly
then it's
night.
I was there. I was there. I saw the guards lie down on the ground.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I also had one where the elevator didn't come up in No Good Deed, because it comes up through the pit. And I'm actually out of breath, which is not a great sign for my physical fitness, because I just did a very light impression of someone lying down.
Right.
Which is upsetting. But anyway, back in the day, so you start but you're like crazy that, right? No good deed.
I'm freaking out.
Okay, so you're what?
I'm being cool, but this is awesome. All right.
So you're down there and you're singing, and then the elevator comes up, right? And it's all smoky, and you've got this kind of lectern with your spell book, and you're making spells, and it just didn't go up. And so it's so great, because the music had already started. There's a little monitor. I'm a whole floor down there in the pit. And it's the greatest thing when things go wrong, because for every actor that's keeping their cool, there's a dresser losing their shit. And somebody's going, "Well, it's not fucking going! The elevator's not fucking going!" They're just like, people are melting down. And you're just, you're singing and singing. So it's starting to come up. And at a certain point, they're like, "No, you gotta run!" Like just. So I sprinted the length of the football field-sized theater to a cinder block, stairwell where there was no monitor. So you have no idea if you're in pitch, if you're on rhythm, whatever. And they're just repeating this vamp, over and over. And then you run on, and my lungs are on fire at this point, because it's 700 of those, basically, where I lay it down. And then there's just a bunch of monkeys what the fuck? I've been here for an hour. It's fantastic. I love mistakes.
Broadway.
I live for them.
So you are in a musical. You're in a show of your own.
Yes.
On December 15th at Town Hall,
Yes.
Sugar and Booze. It's called Sugar and Booze: A Holiday Spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just sugar and booze, but I had to make it sound fun. So it is fun. It's my holiday album. It's a collection of seasonal secular favorites. It's a lot of songs from the songbook, all the great Christmas songs written by Jews in America. and a few originals. The titular song I wrote, Sugar and Booze. And we have a great time. It's a holiday spectacular. There's a horn section. There will be giveaways and prizes for people who wear ugly sweaters, and a white elephant, and all kinds of things. You must come.
I would love to go.
If you enjoy if you enjoy holiday fare, if you enjoy seasonal secular favorites.
And I do.
And if you're lucky, I'll bust out the fiddle. I'm not gonna make a promise. I'm not gonna make a promise.
You know what's interesting about the fiddle?
Go on.
What makes it a fiddle is the song you play on it.
That's right.
And so if you take it out and say it's a fiddle, that's a lie if you start playing Mozart. But it's true if you play something that
No, if you play Mozart, you call it your axe.
It's your axe. This is my axe.
A couple years ago, so I was a very nerd violinist and a very sad nerdy violinist growing up before I sang, and or probably at the same time that I sang, but I didn't know it yet. And when I turned 50, I turned to my whole family. They were all like, "Hey, what do you want to do? Like special big day? You want to go to Italy? You want to learn how to make pasta?" And I said, "No, I want to go to country western fiddle camp." And they went, "No," all of them. But I went anyway, and I had the best time. I had the best time because it's like improv to, opera. It's like just letting it rip a little bit and learning not to be so tied to the page. I really wish I'd fiddled at Camp David. Because you know what? We might be in a different position today.
And that's a lot to think about. Everybody, go see Ana Gasteyer at Town Hall for Sugar and Booze. This was so
Sugar
fun.
and Booze. Thank you so much for having me.
We'll be right back.
This ad is sponsored by BetterHelp. As seasons change and days grow darker sooner, it can be a tough time for many. This November, BetterHelp is encouraging everyone to reach out, check out on friends, reconnect with loved ones, and remind the people in your life that you're there, just as it can take a little courage to send that message or grab coffee with someone you haven't seen in a while. Reaching out for therapy can feel difficult too, but it's worth it and almost always leaves people wondering, why didn't I do this sooner? BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. BetterHelp does the initial matching work so you can focus on your therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps identify your needs and preferences, and their 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means they typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from our tailored recs. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is one of the world's largest online therapy platforms, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easy to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/loveit. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/loveit. New York does a lot of things best, most recently electing mayors, but you all treat ranting like an Olympic sport. So we're going to wrap things up with our favorite segment, the Rant Wheel, or as you'd say here in New York, hey, we're ranting here.
What's with my Melania hair?
What's with any of it? Let's spin the wheel. It has landed on David. You have 60 seconds to rant about a topic.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. No timer noise.
It seems that we are in a period of chronic dissatisfaction in this country because we confuse freedom with abundance, you see. We see 26 flavors of Pop-Tarts at the grocery store, and we think we're free. But really, it's just a lot of stuff. And what ends up happening is it's never enough. Where's the 27th flavor? Where's the 28th, right? And so now what we've become is this drama, desperate for drama, desperate for chaos, a nihilistic culture where every candidate who might take, control of, like Mamdani or even Trump, is like going to destroy the fabric of the world. Now, wait a second. Democracy is not so thinly spread. It's not fragile. It's not sensitive. It's actually the strongest form of government that's ever been created. And no, I'm sorry, but not one man or even 10 men can undo the foundation of democracy. But when we tell ourselves that, and when we hit social media and tell other people that, we are engaging in our own nihilism, which we are responsible for solely. I don't care how badly it scares you, okay? At the end of the day, they prey on the fear. So perhaps be strong, be positive, send encouraging messages. I'm not saying lie down and don't do anything. I'm saying maybe calm the fuck down. Thanks.
It's an important message. You're talking to a group of people whose phones haven't actually successfully gone into lock mode since Trump was elected in 2016. Just been glued to them. So it's an important word
I
of
think
wisdom.
so. Thank you.
David Krumholtz. In Oppenheimer, an Italian man played Einstein, which I think is fine. I like when Italians play Jews and Jews play Italians.
What about Greeks? What about Greeks?
They're not part of it.
Killian is Irish. Killian is Irish, Killian
That's right.
Murphy, and
That's right.
Oppenheimer was Jewish.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's spin it again.
Oh no. Oh no. That's me.
Uh-oh.
I did not prepare very well for this. But the person that makes me the maddest on planet Earth right now, and it's not really the point, but it's Mike Johnson. He's so fucking smug. You know what? He drives me crazy because he's the super unpopular guy who gets cast in the play, and you're like, you weren't the choice, man. Like, nobody wanted you to be playing, you know, like, I know you played Rumpelstiltskin in 4th grade, but apart from that, nobody thinks that you're good as Curly. Like, you're just the only guy that has the tenor range, right? So he got it, and guess what? You're running around and you're collecting the money for the director's gift for everybody, and that's not like a cool position to put yourself in. And now he's like the guy that thinks he's like landed in like, you know, big dick of Cock Island, and it's so enraging because no one wants to date him. Everyone's vagina dries when he walks into the room. I think some fellas here discovered they have dry vaginas too.
You guys remember MASH, the show MASH, some of you? He's like the radar of our government. He gives off
exactly
radar.
what
No
he
one
is.
wanted to fuck radar.
No.
Anybody trying to fuck
I'm gonna
radar?
land a funny. I'm gonna land a funny. I used humor.
Nobody wanted to fuck radar. Let's spin it again.
Oh, God, there's more? Or it's your
It's
turn?
just me.
Okay.
So I want to talk about whatever the fuck is going on with the rehabilitation of Marjorie Taylor Greene. But I actually don't, I want to understand why it's working. Like, it's like people are like, haha, broken clock. It's more than a twice a day now. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm sorry, but like, broken clocks aren't right this often. What's happening? Right? And it's like what? Like, and it's also like, wait a second. I didn't realize you were capable. Like, you know, there's like, David Axelrod would have this expression, which is like, when you see a bear on a unicycle, you don't judge his technique, you're just amazed. That's it.
I have a theory, though. Do you want to hear my theory?
Yeah.
I mean, and you probably have already thought of this, but basically the thing about conspiracy theorists is you just have to think of another conspiracy to dismantle the first conspiracy. And I think that's what's happened with her. I think that she's actually, like we threw Epstein in there, not that that's a conspiracy, it's real, but all the things about it are suddenly making sense to her. So suddenly, all the other conspiracies that she's had, she's suddenly waking up and saying like, wait, the moon landing was fake, and like having lots of other things like that.
Right, it's like
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like the political equivalent, like the Armageddon day didn't happen, so she went back in and recrunched the numbers and came up with a new date that's further away. And it's like,
Yes.
I guess it is more reasonable for it to be far away.
Yes.
That's what Jehovah's Witnesses do.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just do the math again. Yeah.
That's so cool. David Krumholtz, thank you so much for being here.
Hey!
Ana Gasteyer, thank you so much.
So
We made it.
fun. Thank you for
chat.
having me.
The Bruce Springsteen film is out On a show at Town Hall is December 15th.
December 15th, Town Hall.